Good afternoon, Chetal. So guys, can you hear me?
Yes, Ramesh.
Yes, Ramesh Garu.
Very good, very good. So can I share my screen? So can you allow me to share my screen, Vinay? Or Vijay? So is Vinay on the call? I want to share my screen. Vinay, I want to share my screen. Vinay, is somebody is there to give me the access?
Who is the host? Did Vijay started? Either you or Vijay started it.
Let me see who's host here. I don't see myself as a host.
One of the admins should be a host, and he should be able to.
Maybe no host meeting. I don't see anybody hosting this.
Let me, when I do, is Vijay is not on the call? Like Vijay is not there, right?
Vijay is not on the call.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll drop off and switch account.
Or maybe just ask everyone to drop off
No,
and
no, no.
restart the meeting
No,
from your
no.
system. That way you could be the host.
No, Vinay, that's fine. I want to be. You share the credentials, right, Vinay?
Yeah, if you want, I can share with you again.
Please.
Oh, okay.
I can switch myself to this. Okay.
Yeah. Before you start, I see good number joining. I appreciate that it's a weekend and everyone joined us. Hey Sheeta, I joined a couple of your sessions. I don't know whether you noticed it or not.
Hey, Bala.
Yeah, your sessions are very good.
Thank you so much.
Now, I'm scared, Bala. You know, I'm just starting middle of all the experts.
No, you're
You gave
master
us-
of masters.
Yeah. You're a grandmaster. You don't have to be afraid anytime. We are still the
Yeah.
masters.
The challenge is I know my capabilities. Sheetal. That's always the challenge for me. You know, when you cannot perform in a street chess master in front of Anand, right? So that's my challenge anyway. So folks, good afternoon. I'm expecting a friend from US. I just want to make sure he's a part of the call. Venkat, are you on the call? No? Okay. Give me 1 second. He's interested to join. So you're able to hear me, right?
Yes, Ramesh, we're able to.
Okay. So, okay, let me start first. Thank you, everyone, making time for this weekend and for a couple more days and weeks to learn the Salesforce Velocity, right? Now we're calling Salesforce Industries platform. Right? So the intention of this one is to more of a hands-on learning, right? We just won't teach here, we work, ourselves, we work along with you. The reason being is, you see, right, typically when you learn something, if you don't apply, you will forget. But whereas if you start working on yourself and you stumble on, then you remember well. So this is completely hands-on and intensive, and we will tell you what is that you could expect. Right? Straight jumping onto the course, so it is typically, if you see, like, five sets of trainings. One is a weekend, this week and this weekend, today and tomorrow, then followed by the weekdays. Again, weekend, followed the weekdays, then we'll be done, right? So more or less like now 2 weeks, give and take, with a couple days breaks. This is a cross outline. Now, these are the guys who will be helping us. It's starting with Bala. You guys can see Bala, right? I want to share. So the Bala is Velocity certified developer and Salesforce developer, Salesforce mentor, Salesforce leader in Hyderabad. And he has quite a good hands-on experience, right? He'll be helping us. I'm just going this route is me, more of a talking, less of work. So I'm just starting about what is Velocity, but I really want to learn with you guys. So I'm going this route. Bala, Ramesh, Sai, and Venu. Sai might not be in the class today, but he's also, we learned together, but he surpassed me. And he's quite experienced in Salesforce and Velocity. Right. Now the Venu, you're on the call, right, Venu?
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. So Venu,
Very good.
what is it?
I'm saying very good evening.
Very good evening. Yeah. I thought, you have a good picture and our photos are not that good, because looks like you are the one is professionally done your photo.
Yeah.
Right. So the Venu, he's a Salesforce / Velocity developer and a mentor and trainer. So both the Bala and Venu are working in one client, but different projects. And Sai is working in other projects. And so all these three folks are working with Velocity Velocity team itself. So whatever you learn from them, basically is learning from that experienced people. And just these guys are not trainers, and these guys are really working and sharing their experience. Right. So any questions about us? Okay. Now fun starts now. So let's start introducing about yourself, right? This is the format for the today. Introduction. I just jump onto the team introduction. Then we'll get back to this one. Let me change this format so that you guys can see yourself. Yeah. So now we are done. So let me start with my younger friend in the team, Shruti. Shruti, are you there?
Hi, sir.
Shruti, I think you are joining with somebody who is a senior to you there, right? He's not there?
My father is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, my father told me that it will be of high level learning, but I just thought of just going through the going through the starting of the videos so that I get a small idea, a little idea about yeah,
Right.
velocity and stuff.
Okay. So Shruti, and she's Salesforce. She started learning. I just introduced, I just invited her so that she can see what is that going on in the Salesforce world. The next is my other best friend, Sheetal. I don't know. She's quite experienced. Sheetal, you tell me, Sheetal, what is that our other team members want to hear from you?
I think everyone already knows. So, hi guys. I have total 13 plus years of experience, and it's entirely in Salesforce. And yes, I've done quite a few certifications in Salesforce, Capado, Flosson, and few project management as well. So basically, I love project management along with being a technical architect and training, of course. So that's my passion. That's it.
Okay. So Supraja.
Hello
And
everyone.
if you guys can put on this video, that would be better, because now you will be going to work. I think Sheetal, you are fine. So you are going to work together later on. It is quite, it is good if you guys can, if your network permits, please share your screen. Okay. Supraja, still here. I know Supraja has some challenges with the internet.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. You got to fix it, Supraja. I
Yes,
think
yes. Hi everyone, this is Suprasa. I recently joined Megvity. It's been a month. Currently, I'm in Salesforce training. Yes, I'm a BTech graduate. Yes, thank you.
Vinay T.
Hello everyone, myself Krishna Vinay Tajinada. So I have a total of 3 years, 6 months experience in IT, and I joined in Magnity a month ago. And I'm new to Salesforce and I'm in training program right now. Want to explore more in this Salesforce. Thank you.
Dinesh.
Hi, good evening. I'm having experience in Salesforce, couple of years, and total 84 plus years of experience. I have knowledge on Vlocity as well. I feel very good to learn Vlocity as well from this team.
Right, and I intentionally invited a few folks who are also, quite good experience in the Velocity, because I want these guys will help you when you have any questions, because it's a more of a hands-on training, right? Hands-on learning experience. So then Varun, you can speak over the phone, Varun. Krishna is there. Krishna, please. Then
hi everyone, good evening. This is Krishna. I have been working on Salesforce from last 2.5 years. Yes, I am working on mistakes applications in Magneti. Thank you.
Okay. So then Varun, if you can speak, that would be great. That's fine otherwise.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's challenging, Varun. It's difficult, but it's okay.
Have to in Salesforce certified and currently working on a mistakes project.
So, Varun, I think we're having a challenges. You can explain it later, Varun. If you have a challenges, let's move on. All right, Dedipya.
Hi, my name is Dedipya. A month ago, I joined in Magnity. At present, I'm training on Salesforce.
Okay.
I'm
So
having
Prasad.
network issue, so I could not turn on video.
That's okay. That's okay. But yeah, try your best, because otherwise, later on it will be difficult for you to learn.
Okay.
Okay. Prasad.
Hi team, myself Durga Prasad. So I have around 6 years of experience in IT. So I'm new to Salesforce. So I'm learning from the team.
Okay. So Chandu. You are mute. Like you are mute. Okay. That's fine. I think next we'll go to the Anand. So Anand, you believe you are Vamshi's friend, right? Oh, Anand. Okay, Venu's friend. It looks like you're also on the mute, Anand.
Yeah, good evening all. This is Anant. Actually, I have totally 8+ years of experience in IT industry, like web application developments and all. Like I have multiple technologies like Python, Java, and PHP. All these I have experience. And I'm new to the Salesforce, but I have work knowledge on Salesforce, but I don't have the experience in development side and all. I'm new to the learn the Salesforce. Present I joined with the Magnity. It's my really very good luck to join with Magnity, and also I'm thankful to Magnity team and to give us such opportunity to learn velocity of new technology, and also with the Salesforce team and everything. Thank you.
Thanks, Anand. Sridhar.
Hello, myself Sridhar Bonagale. So I have around 10+ years of experience in Salesforce.
Great, thank you. Sridhar is quite experienced and just interested to learn Velocity. Yeah. Sandeep Alluri.
Hi everyone, myself Sandeep. I have around 9 years of experience and I was mainly into Salesforce. Thank you.
Mohan.
Hi Ramesh, hi all. This is Mohan. I have around 9+ years of experience in Salesforce, and mostly I worked on Service Cloud, different applications I worked on. I worked on customer community application. I worked on agent application. Currently, I'm working with one of the key site. Yeah.
Correct. And we have got great feedback from your work, Mohan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh.
And Pawan, Achyut Pawan.
Sir, this is Pawan. I worked 6 years of experience in IT industry. I was new for this technology. For giving this opportunity, I'm thankful for Ramesh sir. Thank you.
That's okay. I mean, you are learning not so great about giving opportunity, but thank you, Pawan.
Thank you, sir.
Venu, we are all done our side, right? Okay, let's go to Vamshi.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, hi everyone. Vamshi here. Yeah, I do have 9 years of experience in Salesforce. Yeah, I worked in multiple clouds when it comes to Salesforce. Yeah, much interest to learn Velocity, and thanks for Magnetic team inviting me. Thank you so much.
So just for you guys, like now, Sheetal, Vamshi is like one more workaholic. In Telugu, there's a word called Panirakshashudu, right? He is trying to work 4 or 5 projects. Let's see, like he can beat Sheetal, or Sheetal can beat Vamshi. Venkat.
Hi, I'm Venkat. You can hear, right?
Yeah, I can hear you, Venkat. Thanks for joining. Venkat is joining from Chicago. It's early morning, like I don't know, looks like 5:30. Venkat.
Yeah, 5:30 is not. It's not totally anyway. It's okay now. In summer, it's not a problem. In winter, it's difficult.
Okay, thanks, Venkat.
I'm Venkat. I think I'm just learning. I started learning from maybe 5-6 months ago. I started learning Salesforce with Ramesh help. So I hope I'll also start learning with the last year and plan to maybe if I opportunity I may switch to this area now.
Yeah, so Venkat is like me, veteran, and he worked on multiple technologies, and now Sheetal, he quite picked up well, right, in their Salesforce training, right, Sheetal?
Yes,
Sheetal,
Ramesh.
yeah. So then we have another Ramesh. Please.
Yeah, hi Ramesh. Yeah, myself Ramesh. So I have total 5 years experience in Salesforce. I am new to this Velocity. So I'm very much interested to learn Velocity for my future as well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. So Ranga, are you on the call, Ranga?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay. So, Ranga, give me an opportunity to introduce you, right? So Ranga and he's my friend. Maybe you never see such a high energetic person anywhere, and I haven't seen myself. We are such a fortunate enough to learn ourselves along with our daughters and sisters, and nieces and nephews. So we are a different era, but we are ready to compete with you guys. So yeah, thanks, Ranga. Now, Ranga is just interest of learning velocity, but understanding velocity, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ranga,
Thank
go
you.
ahead, Ranga.
Oh yes. So just to let you know, guys, I was probably for a decade into marketing, and then for last 25 years I've been in IT. Okay, worked on BAN implementations, worked on SAP implementations for a while, and then moved into delivery management. So it's fun learning every day, right? So we also see a lot of changes. Similarly, we also have to actually learn newer technologies to stay competitive in the IT industry. That's what I'm trying to do, though I don't read much. So it's my passion to actually work very closely with my friends, do whatever I can. So in the process, okay, yesterday when we were talking, Ramesh Raju had invited me to also get a glimpse of what Velocity is all about. And so I thought, okay, I'll join and also be part of this particular team learning a bit on Velocity.
Right. So thanks, Ranga. So now we have Priya and Vijay. I think who are going to first. So now, Priya, you should be careful with us. We are veterans like Balakrishna. We can get into action anytime. So please.
Yes, I'll be very careful. So, hi everybody. My name is Priya, and I've been working in Magnity from the past 11 months, and I've been certified as a Salesforce Developer 1, Platform Developer 1, and I would love to learn Velocity.
Yes. So Vijay.
Yeah, hi, I am Vijay. I have 1.5 experience in Salesforce and Magnity. I have a very little knowledge on Velocity as well.
I think he could definitely cover his Velocity experience when combined with Prabhas fan experience. So right. So with that, I think now it's good. We can go back and can continue what is the next one, right? So thanks for a nice introduction, everybody. It's good to learn and with everyone, with both friends.
Hi, Ankit this side.
Oh, Ankit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, actually joined along with Sheetal.
Now there are two hidden members in our team, Ankit and Komal.
Yeah, she's also with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me introduce myself. Hello everyone, myself Ankit. I'm having 6 years of Java and microservices development experience. So I was not in with the Salesforce development for quite a long. So I have recently started trainings under Sheetal for Salesforce and this Vlocity. Yeah, so that's it for now.
Thank you, Ankit. Ankit is a quite fast learner. So I heard a lot of good things about you. Even though I'll share what the Sheetal written on your contact name, but that's I'll share you what she written about your name and all. But Komal, please.
Yeah. So hi everyone. I'm Komal. I have a 6 years of experience. I worked into multiple data warehousing technologies and the reporting, and it's currently learning the Salesforce. So admin part I've completed now, working for the certification for it.
Excellent, thank you. So next one, I think since we guessed that anybody still anybody there? I mean, I must have missed somebody. Please, if at all any.
Ramesh, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Thanks, Varun.
Yeah.
Please, Varun, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, everybody. This is Varun. I have close to 2 years of experience in Salesforce. I'm a Salesforce certified admin and developer certification. Currently, looking forward to learn this Vlocity also. Thank you.
So the next, since we have covered our introduction about ourselves, and the next one is we just want to see like why we need to learn Vlocity, right? So there are a couple of terminologies I want to introduce. One is a platform, right? I hope everybody knows about what is platform. Salesforce as a platform means you have some tools. Some of you guys learned Salesforce, right? Like a process builder and flows, and and a trigger, the other reusable components like templates. All these we can use in any project. That's called tools and templates libraries. All these called as a Salesforce platform. However, there are clouds and industry-specific clouds. So what is that is typically is when you say industry specific or sales cloud or service cloud, which is a functionality specific and industry specific. There are pre-built processes and which are already in place, and this built in the top of Salesforce platform, which means whatever the tools you can use in Salesforce, the tools can use across any other functionality specific solution or industry specific solution. Since everything is in the cloud, we call it as a cloud, right? So these are terminologies we'll see more and more later, right? So I know I don't know like how many of us aware what is this Vlocity, what is this industry cloud, right? The Salesforce started basically in the CRM area, but slowly expanded and opened their platform for external or third party or other companies to build some solutions on the Salesforce, in the platform. So this one guy, his name David Schmer. He was part of Siebel company before, and he saw that opportunity to build industry specific solutions in Salesforce. So he started an independent application on Salesforce platform. Later on, he sold it to the Salesforce. So now Salesforce, whatever the Vlocity industry specific solutions is part of Salesforce industry platform, in industry cloud, and this industry clouds right now. Whatever we are learning, all these tools and tools will be used in some of the Salesforce industry clouds. One of the telecom, media, and health and insurance, both commercial insurance also, energy, utilities, and government. But we focus mostly on health insurance and commercial insurance. So which means we will be focusing on health cloud and financial services clouds. These are the areas. So the reason why we have selected these is we see a lot of opportunities in these two areas. And since it happened to be a few of our friends are there, they sold like there is great demand for this Velocity, and now we call it a Salesforce Industries. Right. So any questions on especially this slide? Okay. So if you see the reason why some of you guys are doing cross-platform training and jumping onto the career in Salesforce, right? So I think this is definitely great decision to switch the career or change the careers into the Velocity in the Salesforce, right? It has a great industry growth, even though this 20% in this in the diagram you can see. But however, in the vertical side, it is it's a great market growth. So what is the advantage of market growth for us? It means every year Salesforce is increasing their licensing cost of implementations. For example, last year if they sell $100, this year they're selling $120. Whereas when it takes to Velocity, if they're selling last year 100 rupees, $100, this year if you see like sometimes like 700, right? So there's exponential growth, which means we need more developers. We need which means they're getting more customers, means more developers. So that's the reason we need to learn. So why Velocity to learn? So Velocity is more of a specialized skill. If you learn Salesforce, it's good, but it's like a platform. You learn a Apex code, then you work on any other projects, either a developer writing Apex code, now they call it LWC and all. But project to project, industry will be changing, could be changing, and it depends on the project you're implementing, right? So sometimes you work on one industry, one project, and the next project will be in a different industry. So more or less, you're not really carry forward or gaining great or retaining that industry's knowledge which you are acquired in the project. So that is going to be changed in the later point of time, because now they want industry specialists, right? If you see, I got this from the website. You can just mark it there. So if you see the right side right now, why we need to have a specialist is basically you focus on a particular area, and everything is especially just like an analogy like doctor, right? So regular doctors, it's not the great in demand, but we need it. You go typically the first point of contact. But for any specialization, any special need, you just won't go to that. You will go to only specialists. So that's how that market is turning, and the Salesforce is really focusing the customers. Even though we are Salesforce registered a partner, they're encouraging us to be specialized in areas. So these specialists to become like a great solutions for implementation and expertise in that area, because we do on day out, day out similar solutioning. So we know how best we could do, right? And also even though we get because we are specialists, we may get more pay, right? But apart from that, I think the important and interesting thing, I think they will be treated as skilled persons, right? So they say it's like a limited scope, but given this industry and the current trends, that's an advantage to us, because there are more projects and less people, right? So any questions at this point of time? Okay. So now we are jumping right onto the Salesforce Industries, right? Because this course is intended to do, what is that is needed. I'm going to cover what is that that approach which we're following. It is, if you guys learn in the Salesforce basic administration side of it, let me put this way: there is a small low code or no code tool, and that is what is Velocity Industries about, right? So they combine all the tools into one area, and they named as like an Omni Studio, right? I'm just going from here. This is the Salesforce tool, right? So first one, when you build any project, right, you need to build a great screens for the end user, right? And that screen should have data to be nicely put it. That the screen is nothing but interaction console, and whatever the data you will be putting on this one is called cards, right? And if there is a workflow sequence, then you build using OmniScript. And once you deploy it, you want to see like what is the usage, try to understand what is the end user's response using analytics, right? And this is more of a UI side of it. And in the backend side, basically what you do, like, if you are writing a sequence of APIs, which means then you go integrate a procedure, which means you're stitching one after other, right? And the data raptor just like bringing the data using like one API call, reading the data, updating the data, and fetching a lot of data, right? Bulk data and everything. Yes, data raptor. Again, next to is typically like workbench with the deployment and everything, version control. So these are recently introduced. So these all are now Salesforce is calling the Omni Studio again. So when you want to build an application, that screen-wise components you do, that's called console, right? That's industry specific. For example, if you are giving a service agent one type of screen, if you are giving sales folks, there's a different screen, right? So that's nothing but a screen, right? In a UI design and the backend side of it. And there is another cards is like you have to take action based on how you present the data in the console, right? Then workflows typically use OmniScript. Basically, like how the data is to be flowed from one to other, and this OmniScript can be used in the Salesforce screens as well as communities, and also Heroku in other external third-party external systems, right? And again, analytics, understanding your behavior, because that whatever the screens and or workflows which you build, you want to see like how this is happening. For example, everybody adding the data to the card but not checking out, we need to understand. So that things will be analytics, right? And this is the front end side, this is the back end side of it. So now you build workflows, but you need to get the data, right? If you want to make a API or third party, then use integration procedure. Everything is drag and drop, right? You don't need to write a code. And then this is a series of APIs to be called, so that you make a call, you get everything, you come back, right? There is an asynchronous method, which means you have 3 APIs. You can all call it once and get the data once all are 3 are completed. So that way you can avoid the timeout issues, right? And then the data raptor is just again, just want to make an SOQL similar to SOQL, but everything will be graphical interface. You select the objects and fields and join them. Behind the screen, it will be creating a SOQL, and you get the data. This is one at a time. This is multiple. That's big difference. Again, CI/CD, continuous integration and deployment, the code validation, everything will be done in the workbench. And this is new. Basically, you can see that project explorer, what are the metadata objects you can collect, specific this one, right? There is a nice video on this one. I just put it one. I don't want to repeat it because they did a better job. They have done a wonderful job, in fact, explaining about the Salesforce OmniStudio. So here is what we will be covering, right? So if you see, as just mentioned, right, it was called as a digital interaction platform in the Vlocity. Now we're calling OmniStudio. So there is user side of it and the data side of it. That user OmniScript, cards and actions, this is the high level of the components. But however, what we realized is we need to learn in a focused way and a smart way. I believe some of you know that 80-20 rule, right? So anybody knows about 80-20 rule? Just taking the pause and waiting for your response. Are you guys there?
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. Okay. So, have you guys heard about this 80-20 rule? Okay. So there are a lot of books, and then there's a principle also. What they have seen, like, there are, if anything you have, we see anywhere, this 80-20. If you focus on the things, whatever you see, 80% of usage, that you can learn with the 20% effort, right? So here, if you see the lot of stuff, right? And we thought only these will be used more often than anything, right? If you learn these few areas, basically, which will be covering 80%, that can be done in 20% of time, right? So that's what we're focusing in entire this course. We will focusing on few things, as just mentioned, right? Hands-on learning, because everybody has to be involved and work hands-on them, right? And another one, the reason why we want to make it, hands-on, and we want to be, this is not our first training. We have done numerous before, and we kind of thinking the best way to learn is where is that, what are the components we are using in the project, and these are the areas, right? The data wrapper, data manipulation, right? You read the data, manipulate the data, and calling the third-party APIs, right? And then workflows and if you're specific to learning to the industry, then you go for the data model. Then finally the process specific industry process libraries, right? So I take a pause here. I'll wait for your thoughts and inputs, because this is what we're going to follow. Bala, anything want to add, Bala?
Yeah, great introduction by you till now. So I think it's all good. But I remember one more thing that you said earlier. Sweat more in training so that you'll bleed less in the war.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is one thing that everyone should also know about.
Okay. Sheetal, what do you think this method, Sheetal? I know you have also done quite a good number of trainings.
I completely agree with you, Ramesh, on this one, because the more time I told you myself as well, right? The more time you spend saying that, okay, I'll prepare and give my certification, it's never going to happen. The best way to prepare is always register and then do the preparation for your certifications. And Pareto principle is exactly the same. I mean, you spend time more on hands-on than theoretical, you'll definitely get the 80% of the results, because then you know where the things are, what are the options available, what you can play around with, rather than just theoretically learning 80% time and you'll just know 20% out of it without the hands-on.
Okay. So I also try to hear from other members. Vamshi, I know Vamshi is one of the great developers I also know about. So Vamshi, what do you say, Vamshi? You learn anything quite fast.
Okay, my opinion is do practice. That's it. Whether you learn or don't learn, do practice. That's the only my suggestion, Ramesh. Okay.
And I remember Sridhar. I know you are quite experienced, architect level. What do you say, Sridhar? Do you think this is makes sense?
Yes, definitely, Ramesh. Because the more you practice, the more you understand, actually.
Right. So here we focus on the areas and we do hands-on training, right? So that is what. So now, as we just talked about it, right? So this is the focus. So we just going to the straight into the action, right? So Venu or Bala. So I think you guys can take over from here. Or do you want? We will start with showing what is there in the Salesforce. And I'm sorry, the Velocity.
Yeah. Thanks everyone joining. Just before Bala start, I'll just have a few words to you. See, the Salesforce industry and everything is evolving very rapid. We can say 200% more faster than what other technologies are evolving. So we have to be learning this technology in practical and theoretical and all the aspects the same way. I suggest you to be very most concentrated, and whatever the doubts you have, definitely you will have doubts, because here we have both the configuration level and development level and the programmatical level. All aspects are very much 200% rapid going. So I suggest you have to be very most concentrated and ask doubts to us. So we may also don't know some few things from the achievements what Salesforce is doing and what Velocity is doing. So you have to come with your doubts. Why this? Why OmniScript? Why integration? No. Whatever the Bala or me or everyone is training. So you have to come with the questions like why. It's already Salesforce is having why. So if you question like why, definitely you will know the better than us. That's what I am suggesting, and that's what I am expecting from you guys. Yes, thank you. Bala, please take.
So Venu, Bala, now I remember we want to give a break at least
I'm about to tell that.
50 minutes, right?
Yeah, I'm about to tell that. So
yeah, I think so to add that Bala, before Bala's takeover, so we want to tell you typical the format. I need to explain, I think I missed. So what is that we'll do? Bala, Venu, and Sai and others focus on these the areas which we taught. If you learn 20, learn these in a given time, that covers 80% of the project time, right? So and also we said we need to have a hands-on training. So what we do, today we will be giving, we'll be sharing that some of we create the sandboxes and we'll share it with you, right? So that you can start using it from tomorrow. So the one area I think I'm going to work with my team members and get arcs for each and every one of you, and use that arc and start putting more hands-on, right? So last couple of weeks, a month ago, I believe, we have given a training for some of our friends, and we received some great feedback. And I'm very confident that Bala and Venu and Sai would do wonderful job on this course too. And since they have a full-time work with another projects, Bala and these guys are handling sometimes more than one project. So we also invited other team members. In this case, maybe other friends, like I'm going to add a couple more guys, Sandeep, Varun, Dinesh, Krishna, and all. So these guys can help you, if needed one-on-one, right? So the goal of this one is to, let me share once again, how we want to, get this. If you see, the focus here is we want to make sure you guys are doing this one. Today you learn it, and today and tomorrow you get basic thing, and we show the demos. Mostly you get gist of what is Velocity at high level. So you see most today and tomorrow is only understanding it. So after today's class, you go and review that video, right? Whatever the Velocity folks they build about OmniStudio, and we will share about what is the data wrapped integration with OmniScripts. Today and tomorrow, just theory, right? And starting from Tuesday, Monday, tomorrow is Monday, you give a 1 day break, because then what we'll do, so we'll get onto the 1 hour session every day, and we give we'll show you that one task in a hands-on, we work on it, and they give you 3 tasks to complete it by end of the day, at least before the next class. So everybody's using this demo arc which we have built, you work on it. If at all you need a time, we'll set a time, and we also put you on at least one or two, we assign our team member to one or two of you guys, right? One on one or one, just group. So that way you have any questions, you work with them, because you just see it, it is only 4 days here, 4 days here. With this, you should be able to complete, right? It is a serious matter here. Like now we know our stuff, we know how to try. So this week and next week will be done, right? Then 12th, you should be able to get a certification preparation. We give you only 1 week time. Don't expect, you can take sweet time. Sheetal mentioned is you just register for certification. Trust me, it is our job. Make sure that you get enough knowledge so that you get certification, right? So this is what we will be taking care. In the sense, we will provide all the information what is needed for certification. But I want you to focus on hands-on. Without this, we cannot survive. I'm just quoting what Balaji mentioned, right? There is this movie called 300. It says, the more sweat in the training, the less bleed in the war, which means the more you learn now, you'll have better time when you're working in the project, which means you don't need to ask and everybody how to do this, how to do that. Let me tell you again here, to summarize, this is what you are working with hands-on, right? And the way we train you, and this one is in the focused areas, right? And we may add here and there, but here this one, but only few. You will be able to, in this time, you will get these results, right? So with that, we just take Bala, top of the hour, again 5 o'clock, then you can take over from there, right?
Okay, so today I'll be discussing about data raptors and then integration procedure. But before I get into data raptors, I just want to walk you through what exactly tool looks like, these tools look like, and what can someone do with these tools as a developer. I'm not going to talk about the end user's perspective. I just want to talk about how these tools look like, at least for now. Okay, so this Vlocity is a tool that is developed on top of Salesforce architecture. So what we see is Salesforce interface, right? These are all Salesforce interface. I think by now you people are familiar with the Sales or Service Cloud, right? So this is what the Sales Cloud looks like. Right? So then what is this Vlocity? How Vlocity has developed these tools? So Vlocity has developed these tools on top of Salesforce architecture to make developers' job simple. Like if you want to get data from these objects, other than viewing them from these objects, from these items. For example, if I want to get opportunities, I can just click on this tab and just view what are the list of opportunities are there. I can just filter them and get the required opportunities. If we have to get them dynamically, if we have to get them with the query, we should know SOQL, right? So instead of writing a query, Vlocity has developed a tool where we can get the required data with few clicks, right? Click and create. In the same way, you know about some automation tools like Process Builder, Flows. Flow is an interactive automation tool, right? We can make user to interact with a form. We can make them fill the form and get the details or create a record. So, but there is a lot of efforts that will be behind building that flow or behind building the process builder. And the features are very limited, especially in process builder. So Vlocity has developed a tool where it's also similar to Flow, we generally call it as flow, which is called OmniScript, where a developer can easily build by drag and drop. Drag and drop. Nowadays, even flows is also drag and drop tool, but OmniScript is much advanced. Don't worry, I'm going very fast with these tools because in further sessions, we will be talking about them in detail. In the same way, if you have to build an interface for the end user, like community page with different kinds of components, right? If you cannot use standard components, you should always go with custom components. You'll take more efforts, or you need more efforts to develop LWC or Lightning components where those can be developed using some tools in Vlocity, either with OmniScript or there is something called FluxCard. If we have to display list of records with some actions in it, we can go with FluxCard and do it, right? So Vlocity has developed some tools which makes developer job easy, so that the project duration will reduce, and also these tools are industry aware, right? So these are used for specific use case in the industries. For example, if we talk about insurance industry, these tools know that developers are developing for insurance industry, so that lot of features are already built by Vlocity and provided to us, right? So to navigate or to look at those tools, we need to navigate to digital interaction platform. Its previous name, now it's called Omni Studio, but this is a trail org. In trail org, still they have kept it as digital interaction platform. So, but if you go to the real orgs or paid orgs, what you see is Omni Studio. Okay, so and these are the tools. There is something called Velocity Cards, where we can build Lightning. We can build components to add them into community pages or any Lightning pages. Okay, all we need is LWC behind these cards, and we also have something called FluxCard, which is also do the similar thing. So FluxCard has declarative ways, and Velocity cards mostly on development side, like we need to write LWC components. Nowadays, clients are using, or clients are not using much customization. You already know it. So that's why we are rarely using Velocity cards, where we are using Flux cards. And then this OmniScript is most important. This is the tool where user can interact with the application. Like if they have to fill a form, like, okay, for my company, I need insurance. I have 100 people, and I have this age group, or these are the ages, and this is about my company. So what is the price? What is the quotation? So we can build a flow where user can enter those details and get the quote, right? So you know it. So I have a form where I enter all the users, all the we generally call them as census details, and calculate the quote and all. There is lot of development needed behind. Like we need to create account, contacts, then different kind of accounts and different kind of contacts, opportunity, quote. Then there is something called calculation procedure involved, where all the calculations will happen. Everything can be built very easily, and end of the form, we can just show, hey, you have 100 people, so this is what the code going to be. If you want to go back and modify a few things, like you want to decrease the some insured or some assured something, i don't I don't know what those I don't know those terminologies deep into the sales part of the insurance. So they can go back, modify it, and come back and see what's the code. So I'll walk you through this more in further sessions, but I want to give a high level idea of these tools. So this integration procedure is yeah,
Guys,
been
can you hear
capable.
Bala clearly?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
able to hear Bala, right? Okay, great.
Thank you for the confirmation. I should ask this before I start. Thank you, Ramesh. So this IP integration processor is a tool. It's like an Apex class for us. If we are developing LWC component, it is similar to an Apex where we write all our server side logics and execute them before we get the data into our client side LWC, right? Similarly, integration processor can do lot more as Apex. It can query data from S object. It can query data from external object. It can make a call out, right? It can make a call out and get the data from the external system, not by just directly querying, but it can make a call out to the external system. It can do more. It can merge the data. It can filter the data. It can transform the data and everything on server side. Data wrapper is a tool which queries data from the S object on client side, right? So this calculation matrix, calculation procedure are used it for calculations, especially for insurance calculations or any kind of calculations. So I don't think you need these at this moment. And velocity actions or to create an action, it's something like quick action. I can't compare it to quick action because velocity action has more features than quick actions, but it's a tool to build actions and add them to any of the pages. So this is high level about the tools. I don't want to go deep into them because anyway, we will be explaining about them in detail. So let's quickly jump on to data wrapper. Before that, any questions?
I just have a question. So the main thing is for creating the tabs in this Vlocity data integration platform thing, we need to go to setup, right?
These other things like creating items like tabs and all are very similar or not very similar or same as Salesforce because it's Salesforce. You can go to setup, go to tabs and create a tab and add it to the digital interaction platform.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Let me jump into data wrappers. As I mentioned earlier, data wrapper is a mapping tool. Okay, before I talk about mapping. So if you know this architecture of building tools uh, above Salesforce, right? So if you talk about if we talk about any tools that are developed on top of Salesforce, those all will indirectly integrate with Salesforce. They send request and get the response, right? Any tool that developed by third party or any partner of the Salesforce will send a request and get the response. Even we build LWCs. In LWC also, if you want to make a server call, you will send a request and get the response. If I'm going deep into this Salesforce topics, don't mind because you'll understand all this in future, right? So I know a lot of you people don't know about LWC and all. So, but still, you try to understand the concept. So even Velocity has developed the similar way, right? This OmniStudio, any OmniStudio tool will interact with the Salesforce by sending a request and getting the response. While sending the request and getting the response, all it can read is JSON. So all the Velocity tools reads the JSON. So whenever we send data to Salesforce, S objects, this JSON will be converted to S object data, right? Like maps, maybe. We don't know it. So, and while these tools reading data from the Salesforce, they convert that data to JSON to just display to us. So this data wrapper is a mapping tool which converts first, which can read, transform, or write data to the Salesforce, but it converts to the JSON and maps to whatever the structure we want, the JSON data structure we want. Okay, that's why we are calling it as mapping tool. If we directly query data from any object like account or something, we will get data under those API names, right? But this data wrapper will convert the names to the structure which we want, structure which we need. I'll show you how that works. So data wrapper is a mapping tool which can be used to read data from Salesforce, transform data from one structure to other structure, and write data back to Salesforce. Okay, so it's a tool. It's click and create tool where it's very easy for us to develop instead of writing queries. I'll show you how to do that. So data wrappers also supply data to various tools in Vlocity like OmniScript, Flux cards, LWC cards. Okay, those are the three main tools we always talk about, right? So these data wrappers can act as a data source. For example, you are writing a small program, Apex program. You will get the data using SOQL queries, right? So you will get the data, do something like you will check for something, update some data, or delete some data, right? Using DMLs, like update, delete, sometimes create, update, delete, undelete, or the four main DMLs, right? So it can query the data, it can write back the data, it can manipulate the data, and data wrappers can be used as data source or data supply for these tools. Instead of querying, we can build data wrapper, and there are more advantages than querying. You may tell like, hey, with the single line of query I can get the data, but there are more options and features in data wrappers where those will do more than just querying the data, right? It will this tool will save time. I'll show you exactly how we can use this data wrapper to build a data source. They typically do via OmniStudio integration processors. Most of the time, data wrappers are used in integration processor because integration processor can have more data wrappers, more calls, more API calls, etc. They can also call various tools in Velocity at one place, and everything executes on server side, where data wrappers on OmniScripts or other tools will execute on client side. So anyway, we will be discussing about IP also, integration processor also today itself. So I'll give you more idea how we can use data wrappers in IP in that session. So data wrappers are four types. Give me a minute. Data wrappers are typically four types: extract, load, transform, and turbo extract. Okay, so today we'll discuss about extract and load. I'll show you what a transform can do and what a turbo extract can do. But I'll explain you about extract and load. As we promised earlier, I don't go deep through the theory. I can give you guys this presentation so that you can go through it. Let me go hands-on. Okay, so this is the interface. Give me a minute. Yeah, so this is the digital interaction platform interface where you can see Velocity Data Wrapper Designer, but this is renamed as OmniStudio Data Wrapper. So there is something called Omni Studio console. Let's go to that console also once. By the way, this is brand new org, so registered maybe a couple of days back something. So, but when we work with the client orgs and or what the names we see are different already changed. Those are changed to this OmniScript. Sorry, Omni Studio. This is Omni Studio. These are all suffixed with Omni Studio. Prefixed with Omni Studio, not suffixed. So yeah, let me. Okay, nothing's here. Okay. Okay, let's discuss about data raptors. So there are some sample data raptors provided by Vlocity. Now Vlocity is nothing but Salesforce, so we can say the Vlocity or Salesforce, but let me call it as Vlocity. Before that, let me go to developer console and write a query so that people who are not aware of querying in Salesforce, I want to give a high level idea. So in this tool, if you go to query editor, you can write query. People who don't know about queries are nothing but a statement where we can get data from the database. So in any project or any tool, data has to be stored somewhere, right? So data is stored in database, and we never know in which database Salesforce is storing data. But what I hear from few people is like they are using Oracle. I don't know, but they're using instances from Amazon, that I can say. So Salesforce is not having their own servers, right? So they use Amazon services for it. And people say Oracle, they're using Oracle, but they have own language to query the data, right? We call it as SOQL, Salesforce Object Query Language, which is very similar to SQL. So if I want to get data from the account, by now I think you all know what is an account in Salesforce. I want to get data from account. So I can write like select ID. ID is nothing but Salesforce ID. Name from account, right? If I execute, I'll get all the data from Salesforce, all the IDs, all the names, right? I have 22 rows, 22 accounts. So I just wrote a query and get the data. So, but if I have to execute this query, I need Apex. I can write, I can execute this query only through Apex, right? No other place in Salesforce. Then how can I get data without using this query? If you know flows, we can do using flows, right? Get records. The get records element in flows can also get records. In the background, it will also use SOQL. Okay, so Data Raptor is a similar tool where I can write a Data Raptor and get the data. But I can say Data Raptor is much advanced, more advanced tool than getting records using flows, because we can do more. I'll show you what we can do. So I want to get accounts. So let me name it as get accounts is the name. So remember, this is the API name. So we don't have label and name in most of the tools of Velocity. So we have only name, which is API name. Okay. So if we have to refer this data raptor, we always use this name. So we always have naming conventions, best practices with all names and all. We'll discuss about this
Your voice is
in
breaking.
some other session.
Your voice is breaking.
Okay, is it same for everyone?
Yes, Bala. Yep.
Yes, Bala.
Okay, sorry for that. Let
No,
me
it's
check
fine.
my.
Now it is good, Bala.
Now
Now
it's
it is
fine.
good.
Yes.
Thank you, Shruti. Please let me know if I am breaking or if I am lagging, so that I'll check my internet or I'll come back to you. Okay.
Sure.
Or I'll try to repeat.
No. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So I repeat. So this data wrapper bundle name is nothing but the API name of this data wrapper. We'll have naming conventions, best practices on this on this name. So we'll discuss about those in some other session. But always remember, give a meaningful name so that we can understand what exactly is happening by looking at the name itself. Get accounts means we are trying to get accounts from S object, right? And there are four types of data wrappers. We call it as interface type, extract, turbo extract, load, and transform. Extract means getting data from Salesforce. Load means manipulating data to Salesforce as objects. Okay. Remember, we can extract or load data only into S objects. Okay. No other place. S objects are nothing but tables, right? Turbo extract can get data using list of IDs. Like we can use like in, like or in, not like in. If you remember, we can have a set, and we can add all the IDs into the set and use in colon that set name to get data using multiple items, right? So we can't do that using extract. We can do only using turbo extract. We will discuss about it later. Transform is nothing but transforming one data structure to other data structure. It's not used to get the data or load the data. It can be used to transform data. That also we'll discuss. Let me do an extract first. So, and the data that we can input can be JSON or XML, or we can also have custom, but we always go with JSON. Okay. So output type also can be one of them, but here also I'm using JSON because all the tools expect JSON. So we always go with JSON. Okay. So we can have separate permission on this. It's very advanced. I don't want to talk about it now. It's an option. So like if we have to apply some security to this data wrappers, then we can go with permissions. But remember, these data wrappers are aware of the user's permissions. Whoever user executes, these will execute using those user level permissions. Okay, those won't be executed anonymously. Like these are always executed with sharing. Okay, when I save, this is what the interface I got, and this is where I can do lot of things. Initial step is extract, where I can add an object, add an S object. Okay, if I want to get a specific account, right? We don't query and get all the data. It's not it's not a best practice, right? So we don't use query to get all the data. We will get whatever the data we require, unless we are building a list of records like list view something. What we do is we always get data what we want. So to do that, initially we need to add an extract step where we'll select an S object. We'll select an object, Salesforce object. So you can see all the list of S objects available in this drop down, in this pick list. Okay, let me choose account. Once we write, we add an account, So we need to specify the output path where we are going to store that account record. It's like a variable, right? So we create a variable and get the account into that. We store the account into that variable by the query, right? So let me say accounts. It's a list. We may get list of accounts, right? This accounts can store list of accounts. So this is the path, and here is the where condition in the query, right? If you want to filter the data, we can always go with a filter. Let's say name. Again, in this filter, what we see is all the fields that are available in account object, in the object that we selected here. Okay. So few fields what you see are with prefix velocity ins. These are all from the managed package. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Whenever you purchase an org from the velocity, they'll provide installation instructions where you need to install a managed package. Okay, so like so many tools, Velocity also provide managed package where we need to install that managed package, and there are a lot of pre and post installation steps that we should follow, and then the org will be ready. Believe me, this Velocity managed package installation will take 6 to 8 hours at an average. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but at an average 6 to 8 hours. So these are all the velocity specific or velocity provided fields in account object. Similarly, wherever you see, whichever object you see similar types of fields in every object. Velocity, if you see velocity INS stands for health insurance. So yeah, if you see this, it's a namespace. If you know it, it's a namespace which is provided with the managed package. Okay. So if any of you Salesforce experts, if you want to add something in between when I'm talking, you're welcome. Okay, let me choose name. Name equal to, okay, let me go to list of accounts and pick up a name. I think ACEM is the most common name that Velocity uses, but I don't see it. IACME. I can see it. Let me query with that name. So name equal to something, right? ACME. This is how I write a query. Once I write a query, this is the query, and if you see on the right, this is the JSON structure that I am going to get, right? Extraction step JSON. That means this is the format I'm going to get after this query is executed. Account and array and other nodes inside this array. Other nodes are nothing but the fields. So to get the exact data, so this is the list now. In this, if I want to get the exact data, I should go to output where I'll select all the required fields. So for that, I have something called add, where I can select data from the S object, right? Like I have an account. I want account number. First, I want account name. So let me scroll to account name. This is the extract JSON path where this path is from the S object. This is the API name of the field, and this is the name that we provided, right? And here in the output JSON path, we will specify the structure that we want. Let me name it as ACC colon name. Once I select this, you can see here the structure I'm going to get is ACC and the name and the data from the result. This is the current JSON output, right? So, okay, instead of this ACC, I can also just give a name, and this is the structure I'm going to get. Okay, so I can do more here. So if I do like this, this will understand the data type from the S object and it will give the exact type of data here, right? If I'm selecting account number is also a string. So create a date, I want to pick up, create a date, and let me name it as date. Oh, it's also returning text. But if I want to return it, it as some specific data type, I can specify the data type here, output data type. Okay, so it will return the exact data type. It's not reflecting here, but what I get is the exact data type, right? So we have a lot of output data types where we can map the data type. I don't want anything. Let me, if you know the API name, you can always type and get it. So let me type as me. Then I'll add account number. Previously, whenever we add this output JSON path, we used to give capital letters. But nowadays, once this LWC interface is introduced, with Vlocity, we changed our naming conventions. We are following the Apex or LWC best practices like camel casing. These are all like variables, right? We are going with camel casing. Camel casing means first letter of the variable will be small letter and every other first letter of the word will be capital letter. In this, A is small and N is capital letter. Pascal casing is one more casing where first letter is capital letter. Every first letter of the word will be capital letter. So this is called camel casing, right? So we can also specify default value if we want to override the data that we are getting from the S object. We can specify a default value where it will ignore the data from Salesforce, right? So we can disable it. So I want one more account colon ID. Let me name it as ID. So I got the required structure. So generally, okay, let me first query it and get the data. So in the preview, we have something called execute. We can just execute and see the data that we got from the S object, Salesforce S object account, right? I got account ID. It's not zooming. Okay. I got account ID, account number, and name, all the required data. If you see here, what you see is query, right? SOQL query that is executed in the background of this data raptor. This data raptor will form as a SOQL query and execute. If you see, it has select, it has from, and here it has where condition where name is equal to SEME, right? With limit 50,000, right? It has some limits. So it also tells you, hey, it's executed, result found is 1. And if there are any errors, it will show errors here. We don't have any errors now. This is how an extract will work, right? Let me go back, make this more, make this dynamic, right? This is like hard coding, but I want to get this data with a dynamic query. So let me name a variable called name or account name. Now this account name is a variable for me. So I can go to preview. I can write a JSON to pass. I can pass a JSON. Instead of that, I can also do like this. I can just click on edit as params and add a new key value pair where account name equal to this ACME. I'll still get the data.
Bala, how can we differentiate between a variable and a constant in the earlier step?
Constant.
Bala, single quote is not required, I think. For admin.
It's a value. Good catch. So let me go back to extract and explain you. So you mean to say in this, if I have to differentiate between the variable and the constant or the data will have single quotes, right? So if we have to make it as a data, this as data, we can have single quote. If we don't specify single quote, it's a variable.
Okay, we don't need any sort of declarations or something like that.
We don't need anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this account name reads this data. I mean, this is a variable. We are storing this ACME into this variable. This variable is referred here, and it's just checking with the name and getting all the data. And thank you, Dinesh, for catching it. You saved my time. And this will form the query and give me the result. If I don't specify, what will happen? Let's see. Nothing, right? So I don't have anything with blank name. Let me go back. While writing this where condition, I have all these operators: equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than. I have something called like. I have include and exclude. This can be used for a multi-select pick list. If we have to query with different values in multi-select pick list, we can use this include or exclude. Let me go with like. Then go here. Just give a, execute. So it got me all the data that have a inside the name, right? So this like will check the data which is similar to like. We don't need to do all this specifying percentage, etc. and all here. Just change the operator. Just pass whatever the data you want into the value, and it will give you the exact data what you want. Let me say ABC. I think I have 3 records, something 4 records with this. You can also notice something. When I have this ACME, I got 3 details, right? ID, account number, and name. But when I do it with ABC, notice this account number. When I do it with ABC, when I execute the query, I don't see that account number. I don't see the node itself, right? Because this record doesn't have account number with it. Whenever there is no value, that specific node will not be showed. It will save a lot of lot of things in OmniScript and a lot of this is an advantage. We can show you the advantage of this when we try with those tools. But if I show a blank node, then I have to filter it, do a lot of things. But still, if you need the blank node, you can always go to options, check this, override target for all null inputs. You will still get that node with empty, but it's not recommended. Okay, unless you need an empty node to use it somewhere. If you notice, you got an array. If you have one record, you will get one record. If you have multiple records, you will get an array. But everything in the form of JSON, because we selected JSON as an output. Okay. So what is more what is other features in this? We can also add multiple objects in a single data wrapper extract, even though they have relationship or not. I can get data from an unrelated object to account. Let's say lead is not related to account, right? Unless it is converted. So I can get data from lead. And any other tool which is not related to account, can anyone tell? Account is one of the main object where most of the objects are related to account. Can anyone tell?
So you are asking which is not related to account?
Yes.
Product maybe?
Product. You are a true CPQ guy.
Sorry, Bala.
You are a true CPQ guy. Yeah. So I can get data from product along with the account. Can we do that using? Can we do that in a single query? We can't do that, right? We have to have two queries executed. Yes. Here also two different queries will execute. Products name. So I have to go get the product name. Okay.
Name is there, Ban. Yeah.
Name is there, but I don't know. I'm a little lazy today, so I have to go to product object and get the name. That's why I thought of giving something else. So I used a wrong word, right? This lazy. We tell that, hey, I'm lazy. I do Control C, Control V. It's not laziness. It's smartness, right? So you'll be smart sometimes to do the things easily. But I always tell myself, hey, I'm lazy in writing the code, so I'll use a lot of techniques. It's okay, yeah. So here are the products that I have. Let me pick one product and take the name. This is the product code, but where is the name? This one. Okay. Auto driver. Really? Okay. Okay, I don't want it here. I can add here. Product name. Let me go here, specify it here. Then go to output, add product name, key name, product colon product code but what I see is all the structure in one node, right? Which is not correct, which is not good. When I query, the extracts will get confused and it will duplicate the data. For example, this ACME, I will take ACME. I have only one ACME record, but I see multiple nodes, 2 nodes with ACME. So we'll always specify a node, separate node. So here we will add account colon and here we will change it to part colon name. Always remember, you should specify colon whenever you need the mapping, like the parent node is product and the sub node is name. You should have colon. Okay, but when you are referring to the child record, then we'll use dot. I'll show you how to use that. Not child, parent. So product colon product code. And always remember to get the ID. Product colon ID, product colon ID. Now if I go review, I got 2 products on the name of auto driver. So product code is different, ID is different. That means we have two products with the same name and 1 account. So this is how we can get data from different objects in the same data wrapper extract. And if you see here, 2 different queries are getting executed. I know you people are listening to me very interestingly, but it's 6 o'clock. Let us take a short break of 10 minutes and come back and discuss more about the data wrappers. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Bala, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Bala, I have a question. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Actually, to get this application, right, this whatever digital interaction which is related to Vlocity. So can I get it in developer edition? Or do we need?
No, you need a tree log from Vlocity. As Ramesh mentioned earlier, we will be providing that to you.
Okay.
You can't get it outside. It's provided only to partners.
Okay, thank you, Bala.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I know I'm a little slow. I don't want to rush. That's why I'm behind schedule. By this time, I'm supposed to complete the data wrapper, but yeah. I want to take my own pace. Okay. So now,
actually, I just have a small doubt. So, for that data raptor selection, is it based on the client's client selection?
you
Like,
mean this
yeah.
extract step?
Not this extract step. You told me like there are 4 types in extract, load, transform, and turbo extract, right? So is it based on the client selection?
No, those are the types. Like, see, we have different types of queries like SOQL and saucer. Similarly, data raptor types are nothing but extract is used to get the data. Load is used to post the data or update the data, create the data in the Salesforce.
Okay.
So those are the types.
Okay.
It doesn't depend on the client because these are developer things. Like only developers will use this, do this. So yeah, I hope you got the point.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. And okay. So you understood how we can get the data. This is what the structure is. If we have to get the data from the child or from the parent, for example, account have parent account. I want to get the parent account's name. I can just get it like accounts colon what happened. I don't see any ACCOUNTS. Okay, it's just account. Okay, account colon parent ID is the ID of the parent account. I can still go use this child to parent, similar to what we do in similar to soccer dot name. I'll get parent account name. So here we'll use dot, and we'll follow the same as we follow in the soccer for custom fields __ or, right? So related. I don't want to go deep into this because these are a little advanced. So, but people who already know this parent to parent queries and all, we can use them. And parent to child is a subquery. We don't have subqueries here, so we can have a different query. Like if I want contacts, I can pass account ID equals to this account colon ID. I got double colon. So these contacts can get all the child contacts of this account, and we should know how to map them. So I'll add something like account colon contact colon name, full name, right? Okay, I'll try with the name. This is wrong. This is the source, right? Source is always name. I don't know, suddenly my system is very slow. Account colon contact colon name, but I won't get the exact something's wrong. Mapping was wrong. I removed it, but it didn't save. So I got account and contact like this, right? This is the account, and there are 4 contacts under that account. So this is how we can get the parent and child records into a single node. So we can use even parent to child or child to parent queries here, and also we can query from different objects which doesn't have a relation between them and form a single JSON, right? And this JSON can be used in any of the tools. We can use this in IP integration project. We can use this in OmniScript. We can use this in Vlocity cards, Flex cards, anywhere we want. And remember, all the tools are aware of this JSON structure. We can directly use this JSON structure, or we can just transform. Transform is used to convert one JSON structure to other JSON structure that we'll see in further sessions. Okay, so I have the account record now, right? I have this account record. I'll take this account record. I want to update the data. Okay, so I'll create a new data raptor. New data raptor. This velocity arcs are also very slow. Once they started introducing LWC, these arcs are very slow. We should have a lot of patience sometimes. Okay, so let me name it as update account. Create update. Let me say create update. It can do both. Create update account. The interface type is load. Load is nothing but which is used to manipulate the data, updating the data or creating the data in the S object. So type is always, output type should always be S object. So remember that, and input can be anything, but I always go with JSON. But we can have S object also here. That means one output of the data raptor can directly can be used, or an S object declaration can be used. I never used it, but we can use it. So we can also specify batch size. If we are updating bulk data, we can also specify a batch size, and we can give permissions. And this description is very important. We always give description whenever we create something in our client orgs, because description will help other developers to understand what exactly we have done here. So here it's pretty simple, simpler than extract. So what we add is just the subject account. We don't have any where clause, right? So because we are manipulating the data, we will not have any conditions. And in the fields, we need to map. These are the fields from the input that we are providing, you are going to provide. And these are the fields in the S object. So let me go back to, I think I still have that. Yeah, I still have it. Have whatever I copied. Always remember that you should always specify a JSON format. You should know how to build or how to use JSON. Yeah. This is the JSON, my JSON input, right? I have account ID, account number, and the name. I want to change it to 1, and I want to add something like a hyphen to update the data. So how can I use this JSON to map to the S object, domain object fields. We can go, click add, and we can select this is the input JSON, where we will see all the nodes from here, account colon ID, account colon number, account colon name. So I can just click on the name and the domain fields, right? Name maps to name, right? Name. So this way we can map the data. And we also have something called quick match, which can be used in extract also, as well as in this load also. Quick match will help us to quickly map the data. So these are the data from the input mapping, and these are the S object, right? S object API names of the all of the fields. So account number mapped with account number. I click control, click on pair. We can also use auto match, which will auto match if the API names are exactly matching with the names of the input mapping. But I don't suggest using auto match every time, because sometimes we may use similar names between the different nodes, so that sometimes the wrong mapping will happen. But if you are going with a single, like only account, and if you don't have duplicate names in your JSON, you can always use quick match, which will save a lot of time. And this quick match tool will save us a lot of time. When we have, if I have to update or create an account with 30-40 fields, that time we can build a structure JSON input, then click on quick match and easily match between, right? But I'm just doing with 3, so it's very easy to just add from here or quick match, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? So I'll take this input, I'll copy this input, go to preview. In the input, I'll provide this input, click on execute. So the record is updated, right? Yes, Chandru, any question? Okay, so if you can notice, the name has changed. The account number also will have, where is the account number? So account number is also updated with this a hyphen something, right? This is how we can manipulate the data. So if I have to create, if I don't specify ID, it created a new record, right? So this data after post or load can be used to create a record or update a record. If we specify ID, it will update a record. If we don't specify, it will create a record. We also can have something called upset key. In some cases, if we have to upset the record, we can have this upset key. It is little advanced. We will discuss about it sometime later. But this is how we can create or update S object records, right? So we can update multiple records from multiple data sources, like multiple nodes into multiple objects. All we need to know is how to map that data using this feed mapping. This is similar. This is similar in both extract and load, and preview is also same. Options are also same. There is something called formula. Before we extract or manipulate the data, we can use formulas to formulate the data. We can filter the data. We can change the data what we want. We can do some calculations and etc. We have a lot of functions in the formulas, so we can use these formulas to do lot before we map the data. We'll talk about this formulas little later. So this is what a data wrapper load or post can do. Okay. So before I jump on to IP integration processes, any questions on this data wrappers?
Bala, I have one question. See, this application, whatever Velocity provided, right? So this is to enable developers to develop faster. Is it
Yes.
the only case, or does client get any benefit out of it? I mean, the project becomes faster. Is it?
Very
and how
good
they
question.
will check that?
Yeah, it's very good question. Ramesh, are you in call? I think you are the right person to answer this question.
I can, right. So, I mean, I'm just adding like Bala is, see, so end of the day is ROI, return on investment. The investment typically, any company see what is the amount, what is the time, and what is the quality, right? These three, typically they look at it. So if you use Bala, do you mind sharing? I pause for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind to